So, 5 Friday feedback, viewer mailbag time. It's that time of the week again.
Best time of the year.
Best time of the year, best time of the Friday. All right. Howdy, Chris and Dom. Howdies. Letter. Seeking guidance on investing $100K, feeling lost in a financial jungle. Interesting.
Well, we are here with the flashlights. We're going to help you through it.
Exactly. When I think of financial jungle, I think of like trees with like giant leaves, you know? But the leaves are like giant monies, like little dollar bills.
It'd be a fun jungle to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, just cut. Nice.
Deforest this one.
Oh, that's terrible. Alrighty, we'll take a quick swig of water before I dive into this financial jungle. You know, I don't know if the water's good in the jungle, so we gotta take water where we can. Alrighty. It's time. I've been an avid listener of the Five Guys podcast, thank you very much, and your insights have been invaluable in shaping my financial journey. I'm reaching out today because I find myself at a crossroads, and I could really use some guidance. Over the past 5 years, I've diligently saved up $100,000. It's pretty awesome.
Nice, good job.
A milestone I'm quite proud of. Inspired by the wisdom of Charlie Munger, I now stand on the threshold of a new chapter in my financial life. However, I must admit I feel a bit lost. The advice of Charlie Munger to save up $100,000 was relatively straightforward. But now comes the part that has me scratching my head on what to do with it. I've come across some suggestions on investing in high-yield dividend stocks, and the concept of generating passive income is certainly appealing. But here's the catch. I have no idea how to pick good investments.
Been there.
Yep, we have all been there, yep. In the world of stocks, the world of stocks feels like a dense forest. Now I get the jungle reference. I want to make an informed choice, one that aligns with my financial goals and risk tolerance, but the sheer volume of information out there is overwhelming. God, isn't that the truth? I'm reaching out to you, the experts, with humble requests for guidance. Could you share some insights on how to navigate an intricate world of high-dividend stocks? What criteria should I be looking at? How do I minimize risk? How should I invest like Charlie and Warren? Your podcast has become a beacon of financial wisdom for me, and I trust your expertise. I really appreciate that. That warms my heart a little bit. I believe that with the right knowledge, I can turn this $100,000 into a strategic investment that aligns with the principles that Charlie Munger advocates. Thank you for considering my question, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the upcoming episode of The Five Guys. From Charlie Munger's words echoing in my ear, $100K saved, now the path is unclear.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know about experts, but we are definitely here to try.
Yeah. If you heard me chuckling towards the end of that, when I was first reading through this letter, when I got to the part where it's like from, I just read from Charlie Munger, and it was just like, it cracked me up so much. So I was like, he's back.
He's back. He wrote to us before he passed away because he likes us so much.
He wants to know what he should do with his $100K.
Yeah, good to be you, Charlie.
I love it. I thank you for staying on the path, Charlie. Yeah. Thank you for teaching us so much and getting through that jungle. So
there's a lot here.
First, congrats on the $100K.
Dude, yeah, 100%. That's 5 years, $100,000. That's $20,000 a year. That's awesome. Like, you almost maxed out your 401k each year. Boom.
Bam.
But it does sound to me like, is the $100,000 just straight up in cash? Because it sounds like it might be.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear anything about that.
It wasn't, like we said, the more details we get from you guys, the better information we can give you.
Yeah. But either way, even if it's not invested, even if it's just $100,000 sitting in cash, you are very well on your way to FI. And it sounds like if we can make this a little bit better in order to get you there even faster, right? So remember, all this informational, educational purposes only. Listen to our disclaimers at the beginning and the end, all that good stuff. But let's go to get into it. First off, you said that Charlie Munger said that you want to save $100K.
Yeah.
I don't know this advice.
I've never heard that one either.
I've never heard that either. But either way, you heard something about Charlie Munger saying save $100,000 before you can invest or something. That's not. I don't know where he said that.
But we also haven't consumed every second of his public life.
Yeah, I haven't. But whatever you took, that's great. I'm glad you saved $100,000. What I would recommend for you, because it sounds like there's a lot of things going on in your life. We've talked about it before. Like, I recommend like a passive index like an ETF, maybe like an S&P 500, VTSAX, VTI, maybe something like that. Going into how do we invest like Warren and Charlie Munger is a very deep pod that's probably going to take it'd probably take like 5 podcasts just on that one subject, and I would still not do it any justice. The way they invest is very, very deep. It is, I like to think of it as an inch wide, mile deep. That is the way they invest. It is very difficult. There's a lot to get into. But to be fair, that's the way that I first learned how to invest, was by value investing, the same way that Warren and Charlie do things. And I was very shaped by Charlie Munger in that we buy good businesses or wonderful businesses at a fair price rather than fair businesses at a wonderful price. So I've been very much shaped by the wisdom of Warren and Charlie that really has taken a lot of what I do. But for you getting started, I would definitely recommend a passive index, because it's going to take you way too much time to get comfortable to be able to start investing, and that time is money. Like, you don't want to have this 100,000 just sitting there for another. I was investing for like a decade before I even became an advisor, before I felt comfortable telling people how to do it. You know, a real expert is someone who has gone through the jungle, just like you're talking about, gone through the journey, made every single mistake, every pitfall, every single snake bite, and now wants to come back and tell you what not to do on your journey there. So I have made all those mistakes. Now I'm here to try to help you as best as I possibly can. So I'm not sure how young you are as well, but you said you want to focus on high dividend stocks. I'm guessing that's something also you got from maybe Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was not a big dividend person, though. He did not like to invest in dividend stocks. Again, he was purchasing good companies at a fair value, and he was more about the growth. Every time that Charlie and Warren don't really like giving dividends or receiving dividends, because that's more taxes they have to pay on it. A dividend is very tax inefficient because the company has to pay dividends or has to pay capital gains tax, and then you have to pay capital gains tax on that. So it's double taxed.
Yeah.
So they would much rather have companies that are reinvesting the money, not paying taxes on it, and then putting it into the company to appreciate the stock more, appreciate the company more. That's what Charlie and Warren would look more for. So it sounds like you might be just a little bit confused as to what Charlie and Warren are doing and how they actually evaluate investments. So the way they do it, it's called value investing. I'm not going to talk about all of it, but I will give you just the 4 things that they're looking for. Okay, and this is the way that I learned it. I call it the 4 M's. 4 M's stand for meaning, management, moat, margin of safety. So what do I mean by that? Meaning is understanding. Warren Buffett and both Charlie Munger were very big on you have to be able to understand the investment that you're looking into. Understand the investment, not only as an investment, but as a company. So Charlie was given the nickname by Warren Buffett as the abominable no man. So every time that Warren would come to Charlie with like a new idea of an investment, Charlie Munger was very known for being like, too hard, no. No, not going to do that, no. Because he knew that why try to go outside of your wheelhouse? That's one thing that I really respect about Charlie and Warren, is that they realize what they know, but more importantly, they know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't try to pontificate as to what things are going to be if they don't know them. So first off, meaning, you have to be able to understand it and be able to also invert it and like know it inside and out. Why is this company going to succeed? If it doesn't succeed, why is it going to fail? Next thing is management. This is the one from Charlie that I really like, a quote. It was, we want to buy a good company that, a company so good that an idiot can run it, because someday an idiot will.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
So you want to make sure you find a good company with good management, because one day an idiot's going to run it, and even if an idiot is running it now, Warren and Charlie would buy these companies, get rid of the old management team if they were terrible, and then bring in new management team and they'd be able to run it much more effectively. But management is really, really big. You want to make sure that management is aligned with shareholders. So you don't want like CEOs and like all these things that are just lining their own pockets.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing in, what are they called? Slash and grab CEOs. So they'll like come in to like a company that's already like failing. They'll write off everything. They'll take their golden parachute and they'll move on to the next company. And they'll basically like leave the shareholders, leave the stock owners holding the bag.
Yikes.
So you want to make sure you have good management, that their incentives are aligned. So basically, I always like to look for companies with the management is they're incentivized through stock options. So the way they make more money is by actually building the stock up on a long-term perspective too, because you can pump and dump where you're just trying to build a stock up really, really quick and then get out.
Yeah.
That happens a lot too. So there's a lot to look here. The third M is moat. It was Warren Buffett that said we want to find a company that has an impenetrable moat. And just like a moat that's around a castle, we're trying to look for moats in the companies. For example, there's a bunch of different moats. The moats that I really like are like Microsoft. Microsoft has a very strong moat in that it's already integrated into pretty much everything. Adobe has another one that's really, really good, and that's already inside of all of the software of like people's computers.
Like Google.
Yep, Google has one. Google has
Search engine,
they have a
YouTube.
brand moat. Coca-Cola has a brand moat and a secrets moat. There's a bunch of different types of moats, but you don't want to have something that's like very, very simple that someone can just come and replicate and do better than you and then take you out. You know, the best like moat company is railroad stocks. Because in order to have a new railroad come in, you have to build new tracks, which tracks are already there. So good luck. Good luck getting everything zoned to put in new railroads.
Interesting.
Like railroad, like true railroad companies, like that actually owns the road, not the train, the road, the rail. Those are like impenetrable. They have a very, very strong moat. There's no way in heck someone's going to come in, except for maybe Elon Musk with his underground ones.
Yeah.
But it takes like an idea once a century that comes around. And then the final M is margin of safety. Again, we want to buy a wonderful company at a fair price. So we want to try to wait for times where things are turbulent, like COVID, like 2008, when companies that are fairly valued, that should be worth a lot, their prices are brought down to earth because everyone else is panicking, thinking that the sky is falling and that things are never going to come around because, quote unquote, this time is different.
Yeah.
That's when you want to buy those companies because you never know when is the worst time. But if you buy with a margin of safety, then even if you're wrong and you're not at the bottom, you still bought a wonderful company at a good price rather than a okay company at a great price.
Bingo. Yeah.
So meaning, management, moat, margin of safety, that is value investing. That's one of the biggest things that Charlie Munger taught Warren Buffett. Because Warren Buffett originally learned from the school of Benjamin Graham. Benjamin Graham was the father of modern day value investing, and he taught Warren Buffett how to do it, which is basically you're going to buy a distressed company as it's dying because it costs so little. And he called it cigar butt investing during the during
Great Depression.
During the Great Depression, everyone smoked cigars, and the hope would always be that as someone was finishing their cigar, they would throw it on the floor, and then you'd be able to pick it up and get one more puff out of that cigar. Gross habit, I understand that, but that's what they're saying. That's the way that Warren learned how to invest, is try to find companies that are like on their last puff of a smoke before they die. It was Charlie that said, don't do that anymore. Let's focus on buying great companies that have enduring power, that have meaning, management, moat, margin of safety, and holding them for the long run.
Yeah. They're usually not buying flashy companies.
No, they're not. I mean, his biggest flashy company was
Coca-Cola.
No, it was Apple when he purchased Apple.
Yeah, that's right.
Apple's been his biggest winner, but for the longest time he said, like, I will never buy technology stocks, they're too complicated. But to his credit, he was willing to learn and actually learn about it and actually invest in it. It's been his biggest winner. Charlie Munger, one of his biggest ones was Alibaba, which at this point has been a loser at the time of recording, but who knows? I think at some point it will turn around. I own a little bit of it. Not saying you should, but I do. So to our listener, please keep up the great work. You've saved $100,000 at this point. I would definitely recommend that if it's not getting invested, get that invested ASAP. And if you want to learn more about how to invest like Warren and Charlie, my place where I would start recommending doing that is go back and read every single shareholder letter from Warren Buffett. He has basically since 1968, I think, written a shareholder letter every year. You can go online. The website's terrible. Just Google it. Terrible website. But you can see every single one he's ever written. That is such good wisdom that you can just take from him because he's telling you every single year what mistakes he's made, what things he's done right. And you can learn so much just from reading his words to his shareholders saying, and one thing I love about Warren and Charlie is they both took responsibility. They took 100% ownership. If they screwed something up, they were very quick to say, like, we screwed up. We thought this. We were wrong. And you get to see how these things unfold over time. So we're wishing you the best of luck here from Arizona, and just keep it going, man. You definitely got this. If you ever need more help, you can always reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com or just reach out to us in the comments. We're always here for you.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.